What if the life you're living isn't the life you were meant for? There's a quiet ache that follows you, even on your best days. You wake up, go through the motions, check every box, and still, something feels unfinished. You laugh at the right moments, you play your part, but deep down there's a restlessness you can't explain. It's the feeling that you're moving but not arriving, that you're surrounded but not seen, that you're alive but not truly living. Emptiness isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the silence between conversations, the pause after applause, the hollow echo when the crowd goes home. You can have everything you thought you wanted, success, approval, comfort, and still feel a space inside you that nothing fills. You wonder if anyone else feels it, or if you're the only one haunted by this invisible hunger. Longing is a language your soul speaks when words run out. It's the ache in your chest when you see someone living boldly, the spark of envy when you hear a story of purpose. It's the quiet hope that maybe, just maybe, there's more for you too. You try to silence the questions with busyness. You fill your calendar, your mind, your hands, anything to keep from feeling the emptiness. You chase new goals, new relationships, new distractions, hoping one of them will finally make you whole. But the longing waits for you in the quiet, in the spaces between your achievements. Restlessness is a sign that your spirit is awake. It's the gentle rebellion against a life that doesn't fit. It's the refusal to settle for just okay, the urge to break free from routines that numb you. You start to notice the patterns, the way you light up when you talk about certain dreams, the way your energy shifts when you imagine a different path. You remember moments when you felt truly alive, maybe just for a second, but enough to remind you what's possible. You wonder what it would take to feel that way more often. Seeking is not a weakness, it's a sign of life. It's the courage to admit that you want more, even if you don't know what more looks like yet. It's the willingness to ask hard questions, to sit with discomfort, to trust that the search itself is sacred. It's the first step toward a life that feels like your own. You may feel alone in your longing, but you're not. Every person you admire, every story that inspires you, began with a question, a hunger, a restless heart. The search for meaning is the thread that connects us all, the secret hope that our lives can matter, that our days can add up to something beautiful. You start to realize that the answers you're looking for won't come from outside. No amount of approval, no list of achievements, no perfect plan will fill the space inside you. The search for meaning is an inside job, a journey back to yourself, to the place where your deepest questions live. You begin to listen to your own life. You notice what excites you, what drains you, what calls to you in the quiet. You pay attention to the moments when you feel most yourself, most alive, most at home in your own skin. You start to believe that your longing is not a flaw, but a compass. Pause here. Feel the emptiness, the longing, the restlessness inside you. Notice the questions that keep returning, the dreams you keep revisiting, the hope that refuses to die. Let yourself imagine what it would be like to find the meaning you're searching for. Ask yourself, what if the life you're living isn't the life you were meant for? What if your longing is leading you somewhere important? What would it feel like to stop running from the questions and start listening to them instead? Remember, you are not alone in your search. You are not broken for wanting more. You are alive, and your longing is proof that your story isn't finished yet. The search for meaning is the beginning of every great journey. It's the first step toward a life that feels true, a life that feels yours. And it starts with a single, honest question. What am I really here for? The world is loud, and it's easy to lose yourself in the static. You wake up to notifications, to-do lists, and the endless scroll of other people's lives. You fill your days with busyness, every hour accounted for, every moment spoken for, every breath measured by what you can produce. You tell yourself you're being productive, but deep down, you know you're just trying to outrun the silence. Busyness is a mask you wear to hide from your own questions. It's the meetings, the errands, the constant motion that keeps you from feeling the ache inside. You convince yourself that if you just keep moving, you won't have to face the emptiness that waits for you in the quiet. But the truth is, you can be busy and still feel lost. Comparison is the thief that slips in while you're distracted. You scroll through highlight reels, measuring your life against snapshots of someone else's best moments. You see their smiles, their successes, their perfect days, and you wonder why your own life feels so ordinary. You forget that what you're seeing is only the surface, only the story they want to tell. Outside voices are everywhere, telling you who to be, what to want, how to live. They come from family, from friends, from strangers on the internet. They shout over your own intuition, drowning out the whisper of your true self. You start to believe that your worth is something you have to earn, that your dreams must fit someone else's mold. You lose direction in the noise. You chase goals that aren't yours, follow paths that don't feel right, say yes to things that drain you. You wake up one day and realize you don't recognize the person in the mirror. You wonder when you stopped living for yourself and started living for everyone else. Numbing is the easy way out. It's the scrolling, the binge-watching, the endless distractions that keep you from feeling too much. You reach for your phone, your favorite show, your next fix of dopamine, anything to avoid the discomfort of being alone with your thoughts. But the more you numb, the more disconnected you become from yourself, from your purpose, from your life. You start to notice the cost of all this noise, the way your mind feels cluttered, your heart feels heavy, your spirit feels tired. You realize that you're always plugged in, always available, always on, but never really present. You wonder what it would feel like to unplug, to step away, to listen to the quiet. The noise promises comfort but delivers confusion. It tells you that you're missing out, that you need to do more, be more, have more. It keeps you chasing after things that don't matter, while the things that do slip quietly out of reach. You start to see that the noise is not your friend. It's the barrier between you and your own truth. You remember moments when you felt clear, focused, alive. Maybe it was a walk in nature, a deep conversation, a quiet morning before the world woke up. You remember how it felt to be present, to be still, to be connected to something deeper than the noise. You wonder how you can find your way back to that place. You begin to question the stories you've been told. Who decided what success looks like? Who benefits when you compare yourself to others? Who profits from your distraction, your busyness, your disconnection? You realize that you have a choice. You can keep living at the mercy of the noise, or you can choose to turn down the volume. You can decide what matters to you, what you want to pursue, what you want to let go of. You can reclaim your attention, your energy, your life. Pause here. Feel the noise around you, the busyness, the comparison, the outside voices, the numbing distractions. Notice how it affects your mind, your heart, your sense of direction. Let yourself imagine what it would be like to step into the quiet, to listen to your own voice, to find your way back to yourself. Ask yourself, what noise are you allowing to drown out your purpose? What distractions are keeping you from what matters most? What would it feel like to unplug, to be present, to listen to the truth inside you? Remember, you are not powerless in the face of the noise. You can choose what you listen to, what you focus on, what you allow into your life. You can turn down the volume, clear the clutter, and make space for what truly matters. The journey to purpose begins when you step out of the noise and into the quiet. It's in the silence that you hear the whisper of your own heart, the call of your own dreams, the truth of your own path. And it's in that quiet that you begin to remember who you are and why you're here. Beneath the noise, there's a whisper only you can hear, a gentle nudge, a quiet curiosity that won't let go. It's your intuition, your inner calling, asking you to pause and listen. You feel it in moments of stillness, in flashes of inspiration, in the questions that return when the world goes silent. Trust the whisper within. It's the voice of your purpose, waiting for you to answer. There are days when the world is so loud, you almost forget it's there. You move from one task to the next, your mind filled with other people's voices, other people's plans. But then, in the quiet, maybe in the shower, maybe on a long walk, maybe in the hush before sleep, you hear it again. A question, a longing, a dream you can't quite name. It's not always a shout. Sometimes it's just a feeling, a tug in your chest, a sense of excitement when you imagine a different path. Sometimes it's a memory that won't fade, a childhood dream that keeps resurfacing, a vision of yourself you can't let go of. It's the part of you that knows there's something more, even if you can't see it yet. Intuition is the compass you were born with. It's the quiet guide that nudges you toward what feels right, what feels true, what feels like home. You may have learned to ignore it, to doubt it, to silence it in favor of logic or fear, but it never leaves you. It waits patiently, whispering, "This way, try this." You start to notice the moments when you feel most alive. Maybe it's when you're creating, helping, exploring, connecting. Maybe it's when you lose track of time, when you feel a sense of flow, when you forget to compare yourself to anyone else. These moments are clues, breadcrumbs leading you back to your purpose. Curiosity is the doorway to discovery. What if you tried something new? What if you followed your fascination, even if it doesn't make sense to anyone else? What if you let yourself be pulled by what excites you instead of pushed by what you fear? Self-reflection is the mirror you hold up to your own soul. It's the practice of asking, what do I want? What do I need? It's the courage to look honestly at your life, to notice what's working and what isn't, to admit what you're longing for. It's the first step toward change, the first spark of transformation. The whisper within is patient, but it is also persistent. It will keep returning, keep nudging, keep calling you back to yourself. You can ignore it for a while, drown it out with noise and busyness, but it will wait for you. It will wait until you are ready to listen. You may feel fear when you start to listen. Fear of what you'll discover, fear of what you'll have to change, fear of disappointing others. But the whisper is not here to scare you, it's here to guide you. It's here to remind you that your life is yours to live, that your dreams matter, that your purpose is waiting for you. You begin to trust the small signs, a book that falls off the shelf at just the right moment, a conversation that sparks a new idea, a feeling of peace when you imagine a different future. You realize that the universe is always speaking, always guiding, always inviting you to step into your purpose. You start to experiment, to play, to follow your curiosity. You try new things, meet new people, explore new places. You let yourself be a beginner, let yourself make mistakes, let yourself learn as you go. You discover that purpose is not a destination, but a journey, a path you create with every choice you make. The first spark grows brighter with every step you take. You feel more connected to yourself, more alive in your own skin, more at home in your own life. You realize that the whisper within is not separate from you, it is you. It is your truest self, your deepest wisdom, your most authentic voice. Pause here. Feel the whisper within you, the intuition, the curiosity, the longing for more. Notice the moments when you feel most alive, most yourself, most at peace. Let yourself imagine what it would be like to follow that whisper, to trust it, to let it lead you. Ask yourself, what is your heart quietly calling you toward? What would it feel like to trust your intuition, to follow your curiosity, to honor your inner calling? What first step can you take today to answer the whisper within? Remember, you are not lost. You are not broken. You are being called gently, persistently, lovingly toward the life you were meant to live. The whisper within is the beginning of every great journey. It is the first spark of purpose, the first sign of meaning, the first invitation to become who you truly are. All you have to do is listen. There is a moment when the fog lifts, and for the first time you see your life with new eyes. It doesn't always arrive with thunder or lightning. Sometimes it's a quiet shift, a sudden stillness in your mind, a deep breath that feels different, a truth that lands softly but changes everything. This is the moment of clarity, the awakening that realigns you with your purpose. You may have spent years searching, wandering, questioning, doubting. You've tried on different roles, followed other people's maps, listened to voices that were never your own. You felt lost in the noise, pulled in 100 directions, wondering if you'd ever find your way. Clarity is not always logical. It doesn't always make sense to the outside world. It's a feeling, a knowing, a resonance that hums in your bones. It's the moment when your heart and mind finally agree, when your longing and your path align. You remember the first time you felt it. Maybe it was a conversation that struck a chord, a book that spoke to your soul, a quiet morning when you finally heard your own voice. Maybe it was the pain of losing something you thought you needed, only to discover what you truly wanted. Maybe it was the joy of doing something that made you forget time, forget fear, forget everything but the present moment. Realization is a light that cuts through the darkness. It's the sudden understanding that you are not here by accident, that your life has meaning, that your dreams are not random. It's the recognition that your purpose has been calling you all along, waiting for you to notice, to listen, to say yes. Alignment is the feeling of coming home to yourself. It's the sense that your actions, your values, your desires are finally moving in the same direction. It's the relief of no longer fighting yourself, no longer pretending, no longer living someone else's story. It's the peace that comes from knowing you are exactly where you need to be. You realize that clarity is not about having all the answers. It's about knowing your next step, trusting your own wisdom, believing in your own journey. It's about letting go of the need for certainty and embracing the adventure of becoming. It's about making a decision, not just to exist, but to live on purpose. Decision is the bridge between knowing and becoming. It's the moment you choose to act, to move, to step into the life that's calling you. It's the commitment to honor your own truth no matter what. Awakening is the birth of possibility. It's the realization that you are not stuck, not powerless, not destined to repeat the same patterns forever. It's the invitation to wake up to your own potential, to see yourself as the creator of your own story. It's the freedom to imagine, to dream, to become. Truth is the foundation of clarity. It's the willingness to see yourself honestly, to admit what you want, to acknowledge what you need. It's the strength to face your fears, to own your mistakes, to forgive your past. It's the grace to accept yourself fully and completely as you are. You begin to notice the changes that come with clarity. You feel lighter, more focused, more alive. You stop chasing what doesn't matter. Stop saying yes to what drains you. Stop apologizing for who you are. You start making choices that honor your purpose, your values, your dreams. You realize that clarity is not a destination, but a practice. It's the daily decision to check in with yourself, to listen to your intuition, to realign when you drift. It's the ongoing process of awakening, of becoming, of living in truth. It's the promise you make to yourself, to never settle for less than what sets your soul on fire. Pause here. Feel the clarity in your body, the lightness, the focus, the sense of direction. Notice the realization that has landed, the alignment that has formed, the decision that is waiting to be made. Let yourself imagine what it would feel like to live from this place of truth, to let clarity guide your every step. Ask yourself, what realization is waiting for you to notice it? Where in your life do you feel most aligned, most alive, most yourself? What decision are you ready to make? What truth are you ready to honor? What awakening is calling your name? Remember, clarity is a gift, but it is also a responsibility. It asks you to act, to move, to become. It asks you to trust yourself, to believe in your own journey, to follow your own path. The moment of clarity is the turning point in every great story. It's the place where confusion ends and purpose begins, where doubt fades and direction appears. It's the moment you stop searching for meaning outside yourself and start living it from within. Let clarity be your compass. Let realization be your light. Let alignment be your guide. This is your awakening. This is your truth. This is the moment your life begins to change. Clarity is a gift, but it is only the beginning. Knowing your purpose is not the same as living it. There is a gap between realization and reality, a space where fear lives, where resistance grows, where dreams are tested. This is where courage is born. You stand at the edge of your old life, looking out at the unknown. Your heart beats faster, your mind races with what-ifs. You feel the pull of your purpose, but you also feel the weight of risk. What if you fail? What if you're not enough? What if you lose what you have for something you can't yet see? Risk is the price of becoming. It's the willingness to step out of comfort, to leave behind what is safe and familiar. It's the decision to move, even when the ground feels shaky, even when the path is unclear. It's the understanding that every great story begins with a leap. Action is the bridge between intention and transformation. It's the first step, the first word, the first attempt. It's the moment you stop planning and start doing, the moment you turn your dreams into movement. It's the courage to be a beginner, to make mistakes, to learn as you go. You will meet resistance. It will come in many forms: doubt, distraction, criticism, old habits that try to pull you back. It will whisper that you're not ready, that you should wait, that you should play it safe. But resistance is not a sign to stop. It's a sign that you're on the edge of something important. Stepping out is an act of faith. It's the belief that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you are meant for more. It's the trust that the ground will appear beneath your feet, that the universe will meet you halfway, that you will find your way as you go. It's the willingness to move forward, even when you're scared. You begin to see that courage is not the absence of fear, but the decision to act in spite of it. It's the voice that says, "I will try," even when you're trembling. It's the daily practice of showing up, again and again, for your own life. You start small. You take one step, then another. You celebrate progress, not perfection. You learn to forgive yourself for setbacks, to see failure as feedback, to keep moving forward. Faith grows with every act of courage. You begin to trust yourself, to believe in your own resilience, to see evidence of your own strength. You notice the way your world expands with every risk you take, the way your confidence grows with every action. You realize that the only way to build a life you love is to live it, one brave choice at a time. You will face moments of doubt. You will question your path, your purpose, your ability to keep going. But you remember why you started. You remember the whisper within. You remember the clarity that called you forward. You remind yourself that courage is not a one-time act, but a way of being. You begin to surround yourself with people who support your journey. You seek out mentors, friends, allies who believe in your dreams, who encourage your growth, who celebrate your courage. You learn to ask for help, to share your struggles, to lean on others when you need to. You realize that you are not alone in your pursuit. You notice the ripple effect of your courage, the way your bravery inspires others to take their own risks, to follow their own dreams, to step into their own purpose. You see that your actions matter, that your choices create change, that your life is a beacon for others. You understand that courage is contagious. You begin to redefine success. It's no longer about outcomes or approval, but about alignment and authenticity. It's about living true to yourself, honoring your purpose, and trusting the process. It's about finding joy in the journey, meaning in the movement, fulfillment in the pursuit. Pause here. Feel the courage in your body, the energy, the excitement, the fear that signals you're alive. Notice the risks you're willing to take, the actions you're ready to pursue, the faith that is growing inside you. Let yourself imagine what it would feel like to live with this kind of courage every day. Ask yourself, what risk are you being called to take? What action can you pursue today, no matter how small? What would it look like to trust yourself, to step out, to move forward in faith? Remember, you are not here to play small, to hide, to wait for permission. You are here to pursue your purpose, to live your truth, to become who you were meant to be. You are here to be brave. Let courage be your companion. Let action be your anthem. Let faith be the force that carries you forward. The courage to pursue is the turning point in every great story. It's the moment you stop dreaming and start living, the moment you stop waiting and start becoming. It's the moment your life begins to change, not because you have no fear, but because you choose to move anyway. Transformation doesn't happen all at once. It's not a single sunrise or a sudden burst of light. It's a slow, steady unfolding, a series of small shifts that, over time, change everything. It's the quiet revolution that begins the moment you start living on purpose. You notice the first signs in your energy. You wake up with a sense of anticipation, a spark that wasn't there before. You move through your day with more intention, more presence, more gratitude for the simple act of being alive. You feel lighter, as if the weight you carried for so long has finally begun to lift. Your habits begin to change, almost without you realizing. You start choosing what nourishes you, what aligns with your purpose, what brings you closer to the life you want. You let go of routines that drain you, of patterns that keep you stuck, of distractions that numb your spirit. You replace them with rituals that ground you, practices that inspire you, actions that move you forward. Resilience grows in the soil of purpose. You find yourself bouncing back from setbacks with more strength, more wisdom, more grace. You learn to see challenges as opportunities, failures as lessons, obstacles as invitations to grow. You realize that you are not defined by what happens to you, but by how you respond, how you rise, how you keep going. Fulfillment becomes your new measure of success. It's no longer about checking boxes or meeting expectations. It's about feeling alive in your own skin, at home in your own life, connected to something bigger than yourself. It's the quiet joy that comes from knowing you are living in alignment with your deepest values. You begin to notice the impact of your transformation, not just on yourself, but on the world around you. Your energy is contagious. Your passion inspires others to look for their own purpose. You become a source of encouragement, a light in the lives of those you touch, a reminder that change is possible. You see that your journey is not just about you, it's about everyone you influence, everyone you uplift, everyone you love. The people around you start to notice too. They see the way you carry yourself, the way you speak, the way you show up. They feel the difference in your presence, the authenticity in your actions, the kindness in your words. Some are drawn to your light, wanting to know your secret, hoping to find their own. You realize that transformation is not about becoming someone else. It's about becoming more of who you truly are. It's about shedding the layers of fear, doubt, and expectation that kept you small. It's about stepping into your own power, your own truth, your own unique path. You start to celebrate the small victories, the moments when you choose courage over comfort, growth over stagnation, love over fear. You honor your progress, even when it's slow, even when it's messy, even when it's hard. You learn to be patient with yourself, to trust the process, to believe in your own unfolding. You understand that every step forward is a triumph, every act of self-love a revolution. Your resilience deepens with every challenge you face. You learn to bend without breaking, to adapt without losing yourself, to keep moving forward no matter what. You discover strengths you didn't know you had, resources you never thought to look for, allies you never expected to find. You realize that you are capable of more than you ever imagined. Fulfillment becomes a daily experience, not a distant goal. You find joy in the journey, meaning in the mundane, beauty in the ordinary. You savor the moments of connection, the flashes of inspiration, the sense of purpose that infuses your days. You realize that happiness is not something you chase, but something you create, moment by moment, choice by choice. The impact of your transformation ripples outward. You inspire others to believe in themselves, to pursue their own dreams, to trust their own journey. You become a living example of what's possible, a beacon of hope, a catalyst for change. You see that your life matters, not just to you, but to everyone you touch. Pause here. Feel the energy shift in your body, the new habits taking root, the resilience growing in your spirit. Notice the fulfillment that comes from living on purpose, the impact you are making, the transformation that is unfolding. Let yourself celebrate how far you've come, how much you've grown, how deeply you've changed. Ask yourself, what new habits are supporting your transformation? How is your energy different now that you're living on purpose? What impact are you making, and how does it feel to know you are changing not just your life, but the lives of others? Remember, transformation is not a destination, but a journey. It's the ongoing process of becoming, of evolving, of living more fully every day. It's the promise that you can always begin again, always grow, always unfold into more of who you are meant to be. Let your transformation continue. Let your energy inspire. Let your life be the proof that purpose changes everything. Living on purpose is not a finish line you cross. It's not a single moment of arrival, a trophy you hold up for the world to see. It's a way of moving through the world, a daily choice to show up as your truest self, to let your life be a reflection of what matters most to you. It's the ongoing journey of authenticity, contribution, joy, and legacy. Authenticity is the foundation of living on purpose. It's the courage to be real, to be honest, to be vulnerable. It's the willingness to let go of masks, to stop performing for approval, to trust that who you are is enough. It's the quiet power of standing in your truth, even when it's uncomfortable, even when it sets you apart. You begin to notice how much lighter life feels when you stop pretending. You find freedom in saying what you mean, in doing what you love, in honoring your own boundaries. You realize that authenticity is not about being perfect, but about being present, fully, unapologetically, beautifully present. You see that your unique voice, your unique story, your unique gifts are exactly what the world needs. Contribution becomes your compass. You start to ask, how can I serve? How can I give? You realize that your purpose is not just about you. It's about the impact you have on others, the love you share, the hope you inspire. You find meaning in lifting others up, in being a source of encouragement, in leaving every place and every person a little better than you found them. Joy becomes your guide. You learn to follow what lights you up, what fills you with energy, what makes you lose track of time. You give yourself permission to play, to laugh, to savor the beauty of ordinary moments. You discover that joy is not a reward for achievement, but a companion for the journey, a sign that you are on the right path. You begin to see your life as a legacy in the making. Every choice you make, every word you speak, every act of kindness is a thread in the tapestry of your legacy. You realize that legacy is not about fame or fortune, but about the lives you touch, the love you leave behind, the example you set. You ask yourself, what do I want to be remembered for? Living on purpose is an ongoing journey. There will be days when you feel lost, when you question your path, when you wonder if you're making a difference. But you remember that purpose is not a destination, it's a direction, a way of being, a commitment to keep showing up, no matter what. You trust that every step, every stumble, every small act of courage is part of the journey. You learn to celebrate progress, not perfection. You honor the moments when you choose authenticity over approval, contribution over comfort, joy over fear. You forgive yourself for the days when you fall short, when you lose your way, when you forget your why. You remind yourself that living on purpose is a practice, a process, a promise you make to yourself every day. You begin to attract people who resonate with your authenticity, who are inspired by your contribution, who share your joy. You build relationships that are deep, meaningful, and real. You find community in unexpected places, connection in shared purpose, belonging in the company of those who see and celebrate the real you. You realize that you are never alone on this journey. You notice the ripple effect of living on purpose. Your courage gives others permission to be brave. Your kindness inspires others to give. Your joy reminds others that life is meant to be lived, not just endured. You see that your life is a light, a beacon, a source of hope in a world that needs it. Pause here. Feel the authenticity in your heart, the contribution in your actions, the joy in your spirit, the legacy in your choices. Notice the journey you are on, the progress you have made, the impact you are having. Let yourself celebrate the gift of living on purpose, the privilege of being alive, the miracle of being you. Ask yourself, how can you live more authentically today? What contribution can you make, no matter how small? Where can you find joy, and how can you share it with others? What legacy are you creating, and what story do you want your life to tell? Remember, living on purpose is not about having all the answers. It's about asking the right questions, listening to your heart, and following where it leads. It's about showing up, again and again, with courage, with love, with hope. Let authenticity be your foundation. Let contribution be your compass. Let joy be your guide. Let legacy be your gift to the world. The journey is ongoing. There will always be more to learn, more to give, more to become. But you are already living on purpose, already making a difference, already creating a life that matters. This is your invitation to live boldly, to love deeply, to give generously, to celebrate joyfully, to let your life be a testament to what is possible when you choose to live on purpose. You are here for a reason. Your life is your message, your purpose is your gift. Live it fully, live it bravely, live it now.